Yo, yo.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Sweet. We'll wait a couple more seconds in case anybody else wants to join. Yeah, you're good, Paxton. Sweet. Awesome.
Can't hear.
Can you hear me, Paxton? There you go. Yeah, if everyone, by the way, can just mute themselves unless you're called upon or you have a question, obviously we'll get into it. I'll explain the details in terms of anybody that's new here in terms of the way that we kind of conduct this. Paxton, if you can mute yourself whenever you have the chance, just so there's no background noise.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was trying to fix it.
No, you're good. You're good. Beautiful. Sweet. We'll just give it about 1-2 more minutes in case any other people need to join. Usually people join 5, 10, 15, 30 minutes in. I'll give it a minute or two more until we get started. Beautiful. Okay. Let me close some tabs in case I lag. Sweet. Beautiful. Sweet. I think we'll get started. If anybody joins, and I'll go and let them in as we go. Awesome, guys. Well, for anybody that's new, for anybody that's been here before, this is our bi-weekly group call that we host every other Sunday. Next one will be 2 weeks from now. For anybody that's new, for context in terms of what we go over, this is something, as I mentioned, that we host every 2 weeks. And the reason why we do this is just to offer as much value as we possibly can in terms of questions, in terms of comments, concerns, really regarding anything that has to do with lead generation, lead nurturing, sales, closing, recruitment, operations, systemization. Obviously, as you know, it's hosted by myself and Vincent Caruso. And the reason why, like I mentioned, that we're hosting these and taking the opportunity is just for you guys to ask more questions. And really just so we can all kind of share ideas, any tips and tricks, and really anything at all. So awesome, guys. I appreciate everyone being here. What's up, Ali? I know you just joined up right now. Sweet. Awesome, guys. Well, we'll get started. In case you guys are wondering the way that we roll for calls like this, very simple, super easy, is I will go from top left to right, then work my way down. And what we essentially do is I just pick on somebody. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, really anything that you want to go over, you can share a tip and trick that you recently learned. You can go over any questions you might want to get answered by myself or Vincent or anybody else that wants to jump in. And the opportunity for this, as I mentioned, is just to kind of just spread ideas, ask questions, go over anything that you guys really want to. What's up, Abraham? But sweet. Awesome. So we'll get started. The way that I recommend that we do this in terms of whenever we pick on somebody is I'll go ahead, for example, use myself as an example. If I say, awesome, Sebastian, go for it. Any questions, comments, concerns you might have, I'll be like, hey, what's up, guys? My name's Sebastian. I'm from Northern California. I own a company called LEADFUSE. We do B2B lead generation for B2C local service-based automotive businesses. And today my challenge, bottleneck, question, concern is blank. And then we'll go over that. Or my tip and trick for today is blank. And then we'll go over that. So we'll usually allocate about 5 to 10 minutes per person, just so everyone has the opportunity to kind of talk about whatever it is they want to, just so we make it fair for everybody. Sweet. So awesome, guys. We'll pretty much get started. First person I see is Pete. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, I know this is your first time on this call. So if you want to kind of give yourself an introduction and really go over whatever it is you want to in terms of questions, comments, concerns, bottlenecks, challenges. Pete, I know you just unmuted yourself, but I don't think we can hear you. I think it might be a mic issue.
Pretty loaded up. We got 12 people in there.
Yeah, that's fire. No, nothing yet, Pete. Yeah, no, nothing yet.
If you click if you mute yourself real quick, if you click the mute button, your microphone, and then it'll bring up an arrow to the left once you mute yourself, and then click that arrow to the left and make sure you select your mic.
Yeah. You can choose between different
audio.
audio.
All right, is that one working or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're all good. All set.
Yeah, so my name is Pete. I run Top Shelf Detail here in SLO, and then I'm from not quite the same hometown as Sebastian, but we're like 20 minutes away from each other.
Yep.
And I met him through one of my friends named Garrison. They roomed together. Didn't Gerber like knock on your aunt's door or something?
Yeah, it was Mason.
Mm-hmm. So then Sebastian and I have been working together for like a year, I think last week, right?
P is OG for anybody that doesn't know. P is a true OG. He's one of the first ever LEADFUSE clients. So
it was like
OG.
December 3rd or something.
Yeah.
So Sebastian's helped me out a ton. Dude, when I started out, I remember on the group call, he was like, so how much are you guys doing a month? Because back then I was working with a partner, and I was like $2,000. We're doing like $200 a month. We would do like 2 washes. We'd knock doors sometimes because I was just driving for DoorDash then. But then I think in like the first 6 months of working together, let's see, we hit like 14.5 in July, and then my business partner moved back home. So since then, I've just been kind of restructuring the entire business, and then December is on track to be the biggest month yet, just regardless of solo or with a partner. But these last couple months have been pretty bad because I've just been trying to restructure everything, kind of figure out how to run it without a partner, because it was a very big difference just not having a partner to do half the work.
100%.
Yeah, and then the main kind of question that I wanted to ask, and whoever could answer it, that'd be awesome, was how did you guys go about hiring employees, like on Indeed or however it be, and what was your process? So did you hire a salesperson first or a technician?
Yeah,
So-
Vinny, if you want to go for that, or anybody else.
Yeah, always delegate out the field first. So the best order to do it in, and I've seen people do it in other orders, and like if you do it in the wrong order, you can. I'm not gonna lie, you can't fuck yourself. Like I've seen a lot of people get sales reps first, and then they just. I've seen everyone that I knew that done that, their sales rep isn't working for them anymore. So like what you want to do is you want to, obviously sales is like the most important thing inside your business. And you want to, as a business owner, you want to do the most important tasks that are actually going to move it forward. Sales and marketing is something that's going to move it forward. Obviously sales is, marketing is delegated out to LEADFUSE, so we don't have to worry about that. We practically have a CMO inside of our company. And then when it comes to sales, that's, the major thing that's going to move us forward other than marketing. So we got to focus on that as much as possible. So first thing is delegate out in the field. If anything, too, in the beginning, you can delegate out, miscellaneous online tasks. So like what I did is I've always been working with someone. I've always kind of, had an employee. But the best way to do is if you're a solo detailer, I would say get someone in the field next to you. And then after that, you can hire an operations manager, VA from like the Philippines, and then they can pretty much do all online tasks. And then, once you have, that one guy, then I would recommend once he's good enough, then you step out of the field, stay at home focusing on sales, bring someone else on. So then you have 2 guys out in the field with 1 man, and you're focusing on sales 24/7. You should easily be able to hit like 30 to 50K with just that. And then once once you're in between 30 to 50K for like a couple of months, 2-3 months, you save us some liquidity, then you get a sales rep, and then you take all your time to train that sales rep, and now you're officially in a CEO position, which where I'm at right now. Once you're in that CEO position, all you have to do is manage those people and then just focus on, high leverage tasks that are actually going to grow the business. But yeah,
100%.
just technicians, one technician or technicians, then VA, and then sales rep. Sales rep always last.
Okay. And then how did you go about like hiring the technicians? Did you Indeed ads or just like word of mouth?
No, yeah. So mine was pretty much word of mouth. I kind of already knew my guys that I hired, but at the same time, what works really, really good for me is Better Team. Because even though I have 2 technicians right now, I'm hiring a window tint guy right now. And also another thing too is like only hire when you need to, bro. Like the first guy is pretty obvious. Like you can go out with him, it's you two. But like I see people hiring when they shouldn't be hiring. Like, dude, like you will know when you need to hire someone else. Like you will literally be forced to. Like your schedule will force you to. You literally sit down, look at the schedule. You'll be on a sales call, and you'll be like, "Oh, do you want to book out like next month?" Like, you will know when you need to hire a guy. So don't get your guy in too quick. But when the time does come, Better Team. And what I would do, even if you're not ready to hire right now, so then you should do in business, you should always be hiring. So like right now or 24/7, I'm always running ads on Better Team. I pay Better Team like $100 a month. What Better Team is Better Team. You create one job application on Better Team software, and it puts you out to every single software out there. So like your job application, just because you set it up on Better Team, it's out on Indeed. It's out on every job listing platform. You'll get leads to there. It'll come to your email. You hop on those interviews. If you're ready to hire, then do your interviewing processes. Maybe bring them on, maybe hire them. But for me right now, I'm not hiring, although I'm still going through interviews because I want to have people. I have about like a Notion sheet because I learn everything on Notion. I have like a Notion sheet of like 10 people I'm ready to onboard like this. And when I was on the interview with them, pretty much all I told them was I was like, hey, yep. And so we're not hiring right now currently. I gave them X, Y, and Z reason on why they would want to work here in the future because we focus on all our employees. We work on their goals, X, Y, and Z. And then after that, I tell them, so we're not hiring right now, but you're more than welcome to join up in the future and all that sort of stuff. and we'll if we need you. And then 3 months down the line, I'll probably give them a call once we actually need you. But you should
100%.
always be hiring no matter what.
To sum up too, like some action steps for Pete, like really, is anybody right now that doesn't have the delegation that they're looking for, is I want you guys to all understand you need to be super insanely aggressive about doing this exact order of delegation. Part-time administrative tasks, meaning your finances are in order, you have a bookkeeper, small little miscellaneous things that you don't have being done, already being done. And next thing is labor. 100% you need to get off the field. Like simply put, it's like this. It's the way that every single entrepreneur, Alex Ramosi, anybody on social media will explain it, is if you are, for example, able to make $100 an hour doing sales calls, it is not worth your time to be doing a 15, 20, 25 per hour task, which is labor. So you're losing money doing labor if you're not focusing on other things that are making you more money. So 100%, just be super, super insanely aggressive right now of finding that help. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going to be flawless. You don't need to have all the SOPs necessary to get started. Just find the help and get started on it in the first place so you can get off the field. Like that's the first, simple, most basic step to wanting to hit bare minimum $500,000 a year. Like you cannot be on the field. It is not worth your time. But beautiful, sweet. That kind of help answer your question, Pete?
Yeah.
Awesome. 100%. Sweet. Beautiful. Next person I see right here is Matt, APX Car Solutions. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and get the ball rolling with anything you want to go over.
What's up? I'm Matt. I own APX Mobile Detailing. Well, not mobile anymore. I live in North Jersey, and I am actually in the midst of hiring people right now because I have a shop, well, technically 2 shops, and I'm locking down dealership contracts right now. So the plan is because they're going to be giving me so many cars, and I'm doing all ceramic coatings with these dealerships. I'm not even doing like $65, details. I'm going to have a station there. So the hiring thing is very big for me right now because I have to find 2 people to go there every day. I have to find 2 people to go to the next one every day, 2 people to be in one shop with me, 2 people in the next shop. It's a lot, but yeah, getting there.
Beautiful. Sweet, dude. Awesome. Any questions, comments, concerns, Sauce you want to share?
No concerns, Sauce.
For anybody that doesn't have a shop, how'd you get the shops that you have now?
So I go to a lot of car meets, and the best thing about the meets that I go to aren't like your normal meets at like a convenience store or something like that. I find people at like networking events. I go to like invite only kind of things at like dealerships. Like I had an invite only to Ferrari up by me, and there was tons and tons of people my age that love to network and stuff like that. All own there doesn't have to be detailing. They own, like I met this one kid who owns like a cybersecurity company. He's 19 years old and he already makes $5 million a year. It's nuts. But there's so many different ways to network. But getting on that answer, I met these 2 kids that own a big it used to be detailing studio. Now it's more like body work, mechanic work, PPF, vinyl, all that stuff. But they're for the first shop, the main shop, they're giving me access to the whole first section where they did all the detailing work. So that's where I can basically put like 3 or 4 cars in there at a time. And I just give them, a percentage of every job. It's not like a full rent, which is nice. You get lucky. And the next one I found through, just another friend of mine. That's just mainly for like undercoatings that we're going to be doing for like rust and winter and stuff like that. So pretty much everything's through networking. Networking is like the biggest, I guess you could say, thing there is in the world, especially when it comes to business and entrepreneurs. 100%.
110%. And I completely agree with that. 2 things I'll quickly mention, jump off of what you said, Matt, is for anybody that's looking to get in the shop, anybody that wants to get another unit in general, just make sure, please, and Matt, I know you did this, so I'm not trying to call you out on this by any means. I just want to go ahead and reference this for other people. Understand your capacity. If you know what your capacity is and you're getting close to it and you're reaching it or you're already at it, that is pretty much the signifier, along with obviously having the cash to afford another unit or shop. That tells you, hey, it's time to get into a shop or get another unit. If you don't know your capacity, you need to figure out what your hourly revenue per hour is for the company. You need to understand how many users you have, how many people are working, how many hours are working. That number and that math will pretty much tell you, hey, the max I can total do with a shop and a mobile unit, or just a mobile unit, and the amount of people I have and the amount of hours they're working XYZ is how much money I can make at a certain threshold. Just because you have one unit and 2 guys, that doesn't really necessarily mean, hey, I can make 100K with what I have now, obviously, right? Unless you're charging, $5,000 for a ceramic coating package. But understanding your capacity is the signifier and what allows you to understand whether or not you can move into a shop or whether or not you want to get another unit. You having 5 shops or 3 mobile units doesn't necessarily mean you're making that amount of money. So make sure that you can have the capacity to reach that threshold. Let me let Mike in. Beautiful. And the other thing I wanted to mention quickly that's super valuable and useful to kind of bounce off what Matt said as well. Yes, networking is super, 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 super important. I sent Vinny a video the other day where this guy, if anybody doesn't know, there's a real estate entrepreneur named Sharon, I believe. He's pretty much the current president at acquisition.com, owned by or founded by Alex Ramosi. And one thing he said I really, really liked was the 10-10 forever rule, which is pretty much invest into 10 relationships over 10 years, and that will pay you forever. Vincent, at least for myself, along with him too, is a clear component, at least for me. To be completely transparent with you guys, I don't like holding anything back. I like to be completely transparent in terms of communication. Vincent, in terms of referrals alone that he's granted us, in terms of just talking about LEADFUSE and his experience at XYZ, he's probably made us well over $100,000 this year. Vice versa with the marketing that we do for him, we've made him well over $100,000 per year. That is a connection that I value. That's somebody in my network that I genuinely enjoy spending time with, hence the reason why we're also good friends apart from business. And so that's just a clear example of good networking. I've only known Vincent for a little bit over a year, and we've combined made each other over $200,000. So that is a clear example of good networking. So very, very important to invest in your relationships. Very important to make sure that you're networking with other business owners because you never know how they can benefit you. Don't look for the advantage or leverage you can pull from somebody. Provide so much free value that you don't expect anything out of it. And I promise you, when you need something, they're gonna come back and they're gonna provide it. So it just gives so much free value. That's pretty much the mindset that I recommend going into investing in your relationships. How can I be of service to this person? How can I provide as much value as I can? How can I provide so much leverage for this person that it feels stupid that they say no to whatever I request in 6 months, a year, or 2? So that's the way that you should think about establishing your relationship. So great point, Matt. Awesome. Sweet. So next person, and really quick, everyone, if you guys can, totally optional, but it would really be appreciated if you guys can turn on your cameras. Only reason why I ask is I just like seeing all the faces. I want to see people just locked in. I want to see people here paying attention. I truly want everybody to join. I don't want this to be something that you have in the background as you're doing something. I want everyone to be paying attention, taking notes, really grabbing the value out of this. So if anybody and everybody can turn on the cameras, that'd really mean a lot to me. Like I said, no obligation, but if you can, I love it. Next person, Price. If you want to go ahead, I know we just had a call a couple hours ago. If you wanted to go ahead and introduce yourself, go over anything that you want to, please share some sauce, ask some questions, go over anything you really need to.
My name is Price. I own Scrub Duck Detailing in Georgia, like an hour outside of Atlanta, in a little bit of a smaller town. Thank you, James. Honestly, interesting month. I did really, really good with Black Friday. I had a crazy month scheduled, like 22 people booked. We did the $1,800 package kind of thing, like 22 people on the schedule. We moved, 19 of them have called so far and moved to January. So we lost a lot of revenue in December and moved to January. So we still have them on the schedule. They didn't pull off the schedule, but it's interesting. So now I'm just working on filling up the schedule for the month, and that's just kind of where I'm at. But yeah.
Beautiful, dude. Do you want to share? So anybody that doesn't know, Price ran, I believe, offer number 2 for Black Friday for ceramic coating, which was an $1,800 package, which was I believe 5-year ceramic coating for free plus 12 months of maintenance. Price, you want to kind of share? Because I think you out of everybody sold the most. You sold $30,000 in 72 hours, basically, worth of packages. Do you want to kind of share what your process was in terms of sales, in terms of really anything overall? How did you create that goodwill to get people interested enough to want to buy that package? Because not a lot of people here can say they did $30,000 in 3 to 4 days.
Yeah. So basically what it was for us, it was Mike sent out the text. He sent out the text message to, he sent the email out, but he sent the text. And as soon as he sent the text out, hey, check your email. We just sent you something cool. I think it was, or something like that. And I literally got you can ask Sebastian. I literally took a screenshot of it or a screen recording of it. It was literally 300 responses And I was like, so we were sitting. I was sitting at home, or I was sitting at my girlfriend's house. We were watching Dancing with the Stars finale, I think, or something like that. We were watching a movie, something crazy, and I literally was like, hey, I need your computer. Where's your computer? And I stole her computer and signed into my LEADFUSE app and just responded to every single text message that I got. Because a lot of them were like, hey, who is this? Because they didn't have my number saved or like stuff like that. And I was like, oh, this is Scrub Deck Detailing. Super sorry we didn't include that in the text message. We would love to bless you this Black Friday. Or like, we'd love to bless you this Thanksgiving, because it was pre-Thanksgiving when I sent a text. So we were just like, basically, any way we can help you, any way we can help you. I literally individually responded to every single text message that I got sent in the LEADFUSE app day after day, because I was more text messages each day. And then I hopped on phone calls as much as possible. I literally closed 4 people on Thanksgiving Day. Like at Thanksgiving lunch with my family, I stood up 4 different times and went and closed 4 people. So it was really just like, it was really just like focusing on the client and like the opportunity at hand. Because like the Black Friday opportunity is literally like once a year that you have that kind of opportunity to offer something so bizarre and people be willing to spend the money, because people have like, it's literally something in their brain. They like want to spend money more on Black Friday than they do other days because they know they're getting a discount. So it's literally just like focusing on those days, responding to everybody. And then whenever 1800 was too much for them, downselling them to anything. Like a couple weeks ago, Vincent put me on game with like the buff and seal, because I was downselling people to just like a wash clay seal. And he said I needed to include like a buff and seal, which is like a $500 package instead of like a $200 package. We added that, so like we booked a few people on that, outside of the 22 that actually committed to the $1,800 package. And so like we just sold like a bunch of different packages, making sure we were downselling, make sure we were adding value, and making sure like whatever we did, we just kind of found what they wanted to spend, what was in their price range, and then meeting the needs, like what they wanted, and just kind of making it work for both of us. And I mean, it killed. Like it was a lot of work, but it killed.
100%. The one thing I'll say about you, Price, is like, especially after, getting to know you a lot, Price, the one thing I'll say that I've noticed that it really differentiates you is you want it really bad. Like you really do. Like that is probably one of the biggest differences I see in entrepreneurs is there's people that say they want it, and there's people they wish that they wanted it, and you really want it. And I think that's one of the biggest things I'd say. And honestly, the success that you've had is truly putting in the work. Like you said, you got up from the Thanksgiving dinner table 3-4 times to go close deals. Some people will be like, oh, it's 9 p.m. Business is over. I'm not going to take any calls. I'm chilling. I'm with my girl. That's what it takes, dude. Lead comes in at 11 a.m. or 11 p.m., 12 a.m. You're going to call. That's what it takes. Yeah. And so like, I just want to commend you for that, because you have what it takes, dude. And that's why you've grown so fast. So props, dude. You deserve all the success you've had. Thanks for sharing that sauce, bro. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Sweet. Awesome, dude. Next person I got here is Pablo. So if you want to go over, introduce yourself, go over any questions, comments, concerns you got, we'll go ahead and help in any way we can.
Hello, everybody. My name is Pablo. I run Pablo's on the Go Detailing in San Jose. Today, I don't really have any questions, just hearing everybody out.
Heck yeah. Sweet, dude. Thanks for introducing yourself. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Next person, Paxton. What's up, dude? If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, I think it's your first time on the group call. Go ahead and introduce yourself for everyone and go over anything you want to.
Yeah, man. So I've been with LEADFUSE since like March, and it's been a blessing, bro. I think Vincent actually hopped me on here, so let's appreciate it, Vincent. So yeah, LEADFUSE has been a blessing. I started my business last year summer, and I actually started with door knocking, doing $20 car washes. Now I'm just hitting it up with a lot of ceramic coatings, full details, stuff like that. I got like 6K booked in for December right now. It's a little slower, which is to be expected, but I'm looking into doing undercoating, stuff like that. Actually, somebody in the call said they did undercoating. APX Car Solutions, you do the undercoating, right?
Yeah.
I don't have enough room in my shop to have like a car lift, so what do you recommend I should do to do undercoating?
Oh, that's the thing. With me, the place that I do the undercoatings, it's a mechanic shop. Okay. So basically, it's the same kind of rev split lease that I have with the other place, which is great. Okay. So if I don't have work, I don't have to pay any money to them. But it comes with a lift.
Gotcha.
Including the 10% comes with the space. It's one bay. I can fit one car. I can put one car in the lift, and it includes the mechanic taking off the wheels for me. That's included on the 10%. But the thing is, if you don't have space, well, I mean, I'd say if you have the space to fit a lift, do it. But if
Okay.
anything, you could just like jack up the car. But then the problem is when you jack up the car, depending upon the size of the car, you can't get every single section.
Mhm.
You know, when you're actually applying the stuff. So
I did find a lift online where you can like drive it over and it lifts it up. I'm thinking about just doing that, trying that out. But yeah, I mean, LeadFuse has been great though. My questions was, I have just like 2 quick questions, if that's all right. What test? I know Vincent has a VA, and I just hired a VA a while ago, and I'm kind of running out of tasks for her to do. Like I just doesn't seem like I have enough tasks. So how do you like delegate your VA, and like what tasks should you give her? If you could just do it like a quick answer, just because I have one more important question, that'd be great.
Yeah, with that, that's the number one thing that I ran into as soon as I hired a VA. They do work so fast.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I would give her a big task, and then she'd complete it in one day, and then next day like, oh, what do you want to do now? That's why I pay them on salary. So salary, that's what I do. My technicians, I pay hourly. I pay the VA salary with salary. I can't even say that word with salary, and that just makes it way easier because then some days like she just wouldn't work. I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like Tuesdays, maybe she didn't work on Tuesday. She's still getting paid though. It's not that much. It's just something that I want to pay every single month, and it almost becomes like a fixed expense. So I pay her at the end of every 2 weeks, and she gets her salary. And what she does is like obviously every now and then I'll give her a random task. We'll have random things in the company because you can really do a lot of them. Like the main things that she does though is she orders inventory, and then the other main thing is social media management. So as right now for the past like month, I'm not gonna lie, like or past 2 months actually, it's been so hectic with me moving to the shop. I've dealt with so much shit, been doing so much other things that she really hasn't been doing too much. Like she's right now, I tell her every single day, I'm just like, I got a little bit of things for you, I got this, I got that, post on social media, and it's not too much. But one thing I do want to have a meeting with her soon is try to get them to really lock in on the social media. Create a really good Google Drive system where you have everything inside your Google Drive, everything organized, your B-roll, your photos, everything's super organized in the Google Drive. You obviously take photos, videos, have a video, upload everything in Google Drive, let her have access to it, and let her go crazy on social media, and have meetings with her regarding the social media, and like just have her post everywhere on there, have her do stories. Like my VA posts 2 stories every single day.
Yep.
But like I said, she's not my main task right now. That's why I haven't really, sat down and did that meeting, but pretty soon I'm going to sit down in a meeting and lock her in social media. So that's what I would tell you to do, is have her lock in on social media and do as much stuff as there as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do have her in a Google Drive, have her uploading on my stories 2 times a day. Just the thing is, like for the reels, like the Instagram reels, she's not uploading the best Instagram reels, so I just started making my own.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I could do is have her edit videos, have her upload them, and that's going to take some time off my hands as well. So appreciate your time there. And then I have one more question.
It's like real quick though, they might not do everything. Like that's another thing, issue I ran into with the VAs. They might not do everything perfect.
Yeah.
You really have to you have to really give them like good instruction. Like I have my own VA has a Notion dashboard. She has her urgent task section on there, her medium task, and her just random tasks. And what I'll do is I'll actually sit down and talk with ChatGPT, and I'll make pretty much a really detailed paragraph to tell you what to do. You really got to be very specific with them, and that's why it's very good to have morning meetings with them too as well. Because if you had like morning meetings with her, you can kind of get her to make that editing style better. Don't get me wrong; they might not be insane editors, but at the same time, even if you just have like really good content that maybe you or a videographer film, and you just have her like chop those together with nice transitions, just your content doesn't have to be insanely crazy. Like sometimes it just has to be like very just good high quality video and photo. That's why I don't really have too many crazy edits on my stuff right now, because you just don't need it. You just want stuff that shows the work, shows your team and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, what's your next question?
Yeah. Well, first thing, funny thing is I actually did copy everything from your YouTube video about VAs. So I have all the Notion dashboard. So I follow your YouTube pretty well. But my next question here, I don't want to take up too much time, but right now, last summer, my highest month was like 19K. I want next spring and summer to be actually insane. I want to make 40, 50 plus a month. And I know I can do that with LEADFUSE, help with LEADFUSE, and I'm thinking about getting the Google ads up, stuff like that. I'm thinking about doing like $200 a day in ceramic coating ads, running a shit ton of ads, paying a shit ton of money for it. But I was going to ask you, what helped you kind of get to like 40 plus K a month? And what tasks did you do? I know it's kind of like a broad question, but like, just give me some sauce. What did you do?
It's just sales and marketing, like really, like it really is just sales and it's just sales, marketing, and then like making sure your team's running right. So you just got to dial in your team, make sure they're good. You know, obviously have your meetings with them, have good communication with them, dial them in 24/7. And then if your team is good, you guys are good to do the work. Everything's set there. You have a good foundation because that's the foundation. Then all you do is need to focus on your marketing and your sales. Another main thing too is like I'm in a pretty good area in Jersey. Pretty good. It's pretty packed. I really did it with just really med ads. I'm not gonna lie, I was missing out on a lot of revenue, not running. I never really touched Google. I never really touched LSA. I never really touched any of those sources of marketing other than just ceramic coating ads. Like recently, now that I got in shop and my fulfillment went up, now I'm running not only 50% off ceramic coating ads, and James can tell you too, we just went on a meeting, but now we're running 50% off ceramic coating ads plus full detail ads. I'm testing out interior ceramic coating ads. We might run wash, clay, and seal packages. This way we can control every area of the funnel with our med ads. And on top of that too, LEADFUSE is getting into Google. So I really want to push Google ads and then also Google LSA mainly too as well. So you really just need to focus on your marketing. Once your marketing is good, then really just dial in on sales and be on sales 24/7, become an insane salesperson, and then delegate it out.
Okay. I do have a VA. I do have a sales rep. And I got one guy working for me. I'm thinking about hiring like 2 to 3 people for next spring to summer, because I want to have at least I don't want to have more than 1 to 2 weeks booked out. I was watching some of the Driven Elite calls, and they were saying you don't want to have more than 1 to 2 weeks booked out. You want to have at least everybody get in the first week or two. But yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna put more ads up. I do have like a wash, clay, seal ad up right now, the ceramic and the full detail. It's obviously not doing as well as I'd like it to, just because it is going into the slow season. But yeah, I'm planning on just spending a shit ton of money every day on ads next spring and summer just to get so many leads. And then I need to dial my sales rep a little bit more. She could be doing a little bit better job, but
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Just dial her in, make sure you have meetings with them. Your employees will just act over how you act. So just make sure you do all that sort of stuff, have morning meetings, and just really guide them, because your employees at the end of the day are kind of like your puppets in a sense. You just got to make sure you control them, and how your employees work and that sort of stuff is all just a reflection of you. It's never really their fault. It's always your fault 90% of the time.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. Appreciate it, Vincent. Thanks, Sebastian.
Of course, bro. All right. Next, who do you got next, Sebastian?
Anas. If you want to go ahead and do your intro, any questions, comments, concerns you got?
Hey everyone, my name is Anas. I'm owner of Essential Details. Been working with Sebastian almost a year. It was actually Vincent who introduced me to him. My question is, I forgot your name, but APX Car Solutions. You may be able to answer this one. Is what was the process of getting dealership contracts or fleet contracts or whatever it is? How did you pitch yourself?
I think he's on a sales call right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah, yeah. He said.
Or
he
anyone
said
else,
VRP.
or if you guys have any knowledge on that, with any of your other clients or whatever. If not, I can ask him again.
I think Price, you recently got a pretty big fleet contract, right? If you want to jump in.
Yeah. So with my recent fleet contract, it was really kind of just right place, right time. There's a business here called WindShape. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of the WindShape Foundation or anything like that. But it's a pretty big thing here in Rome on Barry, which is a huge college campus. But anyways, I was there cleaning their head chef's vehicle, inside out, plus a 6-month coating, and their fleet manager saw me doing it and walked out and was talking to me and was just kind of hey, what's going on? And I was oh, hey, I'm a mobile car detailer. We do this. We manage we do maintenance clients. We have ceramic coat. Went through kind of just a pitch of who we are. And he was super impressed with the work we were doing and kind of how we carried ourselves. We were wearing polos with vests because it wasn't too cold. And he was well, we have a fleet of 25 vehicles. I'd love to get a quote on them. And we started talking about it. So I got 20 of the vehicles booked for ceramic coatings next So we're doing 5-year ceramic coatings on the vehicles, and then we're doing maintenance for literally just continue on. I think we signed a contract for next year with the ceramic coatings included. It's like right at 100,000 for the year. And so we're doing that. But I would say like the only other way that I've really been able to get those like fleet contracts or anything like that is just straight business to business. Walking into a business, asking for a manager, and not even like pitching a service, like not even saying like, oh, hey, like I want to clean your fleet of vehicles. Because around here, I don't know around you, but around here we have people who will like pressure washing companies who in the winter will wash fleets or like wash fleets on the side for like $60 on the exterior because they just hit them with their high power pressure washer. So not even like pitching that service, but just saying like a lot of like car dealerships and stuff for sure too is like going in and being like, oh, hey, I'm a mobile car detailer. I'd love to work out a plan where we gave your clients a free detail after they purchase a vehicle, or figure something out, some sort of like offer to give the person, and then like ease your way into like, oh, we can also like manage fleets. We could manage this many vehicles for you a month, cleaning that way, cleaning this way. And so like the way I got my fleets, there's a tractor company here that like sells tractors, and I went in and I pitched like, hey, I would love to give 20% off to everyone who worked here if we could just book some details on a regular basis. Literally front desk lady walked in, she took my card, gave it to the owner of the company, called it, and now I wash their tractors, which is like crazy, but like we literally just do like an exterior wash on the tractors before they ship them out. And so literally just walking into like a business or a place where there's a lot of vehicles and pitching your service before you pitch like, oh, I want you to pay me $5,000 a month to manage all of your cars. More of just like I want the opportunity to clean your cars up at a discounted rate for all of your customers while y'all are here at work, so you don't have anything to work for, or like for your customers with the car dealerships and stuff like that is like my most successful. But yeah, most recent one was just right place, right time, and then obviously always acting and carrying yourself in a professional manner kind of thing, for sure there.
So real quick follow up. So when you do like those cold walk-ins, do you have anything prepared, like a packet or something to show what you want to offer, or it's just fully verbal?
Yeah, so I don't know if you're here on the call kind of 2 weeks ago, but Sebastian was talking about like the information, like kind of switching things over to like getting people leads through info, like getting them hooked and then giving them more information kind of as we go. That's kind of the same approach I use for fleets. Is I'll go in and my first time is just going to kind of be like, hey, this is what I do. I'd love to clean up a few of your like workers' cars while they're at work. Like I would love to come clean up your vehicle and maybe your friends while you are at work. And then the next time I'm there, I'll take in a little packet and I'll say, hey, just so you know, kind of we do this. Here's some of my offers. And like in there, I'll put like fleet high, like it'll be like its own like big section because it's like a whole separate part of the business. Mm-hmm. And then the next time I'm in there, I try to give them a little bit more info on like the fleet, and then I'll give them a call. So the way kind of like I figured that out and structured that is my dad has been in sales his entire life, and one of the biggest things he's ever taught me was sometimes you have to get in front of somebody 5 to 7 times before you can ever get them to say yes, or before you can ever get them to consider buying your product. And so the more times you can get in front of them and give them information, the better. So that's why I take the approach of, I just want to clean a couple of your like people's cars once or twice a month, so that I can just get in the front of their faces and give them and pour into them more information. Because the more I am in front of them and the more information I give them, the more they get to see how professional my company is, the more they know about the service, and the more likely they are to buy or pursue a fleet contract or a plan, that kind of thing.
100%. That's sauce. And the word for that is nurturing. We need to nurture. The only way that we're going to reduce the time it takes for somebody to come in, express interest in our product or service, and pop out the other end and pay us is how much information we give in the gap of that. The more context, research, information, and education that we can provide through advertising, through organic content, through email newsletters, and overall just giving them the information they need, the more likely we're going to be able to sell them on whatever it is we want to sell them. So that's all it is. It's just education, nurturing, research, and context. Imagine if every single lead that you had come to you had every single question answered that you get most commonly asked. Hey, what's the price range? What can I expect to pay? What package do you recommend? What's the difference between wax and ceramic coating? What's a ceramic coating in the first place? How much more likely are you able to convert if they had the context? And so that's obviously what we're doing with System Update, is newsletters, is just more educational stuff. And that's what we need to be doing on your advertising side of things as well, is more educational stuff. So 100%, very huge. A huge example, majority of everybody here, when you purchased our service for LEADFUSE, you likely didn't buy on the first call. For those of you that did, the only reason you did buy is because you probably did your own research or saw enough context for you to believe that it would work for you. That's literally a perfect example. For those of you that bought on the second call, or you bought through text, or you bought through phone with me, it's because you needed more information and context. Did it work well for others? Let me see the screenshots of wins on the LEADFUSE Instagram account. Let me go ahead and see who's posting about it. Oh, Vincent's using it. He's working. He's winning. So it must work well. So you needed more information. You needed more social proof. You needed more education. You needed more context for you to believe that it would work for you to join. And so that's an exact, clear example of the same things you need to be doing for your business. So
There's
great
one
point.
thing that's really good for that too is like what I recommend all you guys film and at least get put together at some point is VSLs for every single service. I recently just filmed the VSLs for every single service. A VSL is just a video sales letter. It's just a long form video that helps people buy. And essentially all the VSLs that I have is I made one for full details and I made one for ceramic coatings, and I'm going to make one for window tint. I'm going to make one for PPF. It's just pretty much a full long form YouTube video, essentially breaking down every step of the ceramic coating process, answering their questions answering, commonly asked questions during the video, and just showing their step-by-step process. Because, when people see, our guys working in that video with their, their nice polos on, all that sort of stuff, and they also see our nice facility, and they see how nice we do everything, it's solid. And you don't need a nice facility or any of that sort of stuff. You can still make, your stuff look professional. Because how many times have you been like, oh my God, if this person just viewed our work and just saw like the quality of work we did and how good we actually are, they would definitely buy. And that VSL is what you could do there. And you can make your work seem even better in a VSL, because obviously you can edit it, you can script it, and you can, you kind of act it out in a way. So if you have a VSL for every single service, you can send it to, people that, are considering buying, and they'll just nurture them on, what a ceramic coating is, why they should get in, just showing you the quality of work that you do. And then you can post that VSL on YouTube, Instagram. You can send it to people after sales calls. You can email it. You could use it on Google Ads. There's multiple different uses for it as well.
100%. Sweet. Paxton, I just saw your hand raised. Go for it.
Yeah, so going off of Vincent, I literally just made those for my business. I just made the full detailing one. I just made a ceramic one. Just made a wash clay seal one. So if you guys want to have like a reference to go off of, I also have the sales script or not the sales, like the script I ran off of to make those videos. If you guys want to get like a reference, I can send you it to one of your guys' phone numbers. I'll put my phone number in chat. If you guys want to just see one, I have them all on my phone right now. I'm in the process of still making them, but I'm going to send them to every customer who submits a lead or a form. And I think it's going to help with cancellations, going to help get more customers, make more money from literally just a 1-minute video that you can send to each customer about like, hey, this is my service. This is what you can expect. This is what a full detailing service is. This is what a wash clay seal service is. And then they get more trust from you because they see your face, they see your company, they see your polo. They just build more trust and want to go with you. Because I bet no other people in your area are going to have that video. Once they submit a form with somebody else, I bet nobody's going to send that video. You're going to be the only one who they see their face right away. You're going to be the only one who can actually build that trust because other people are not going to have that video. I can guarantee it. So let me know, text me right now if you want like a reference, and I can send you like the script I use and the video I have.
100%. Thanks for sharing that, Paxton. That means a lot. Yeah, so anybody that wants to see Paxton stuff, text him. He just went ahead and dropped his phone number. Anas, I saw you raise your hand as well.
Yeah, so for the VSLs, what is your opinion on having that sent? So, currently, like when a lead comes in, you get the automated message like, hey, thanks for reaching out, blah, blah, blah. What if that VSL was sent at that moment, either via text or email?
Yeah.
Do you have that set up? Anyone have that set up currently, or something?
Great question. Yeah, great question. So the way I would recommend it personally is whenever a lead comes in, VSLs are great. VSLs, for example, are great, for example, if we're doing landing page ads instead of lead form ads, taking somebody there. Obviously, your cost per lead is going to increase, but that's going to increase the quality of the lead itself. It's great, for example, for Google ads, for people to reference something. you have to keep in mind the sales that you guys are doing at BDC, consumers time. And by the way, Paxton, I apologize. Can you mute yourself? I think there's just a little bit of an echo. But you have to keep in mind.
About that.
No, you're completely fine, dude. B2C, for example, consumers on that level, their attention spans are a lot shorter. We have to keep in mind, we want to make things quick, snappy, personal, as non-automated as we can. My personal opinion is, for example, you don't need to have some fancy 5-minute long VSL where you're sitting down, looking at a teleprompter, going over every single detail, nicely, beautifully edited. My opinion is this, and this is kind of some portion of the system update that we can include, is whenever a lead comes in, first message, hey, Sebastian. Second message, this is Anas from Essential Details. Third message, just saw you submitted information regarding a request for ceramic coating for your car. How long have you had it? Boom, they respond. System recognizes a positive response. Then we send something more personalized, a voice note, a video, not just a VSL video, but some sort of selfie video. Hey, what's up? I'm actually in the shop right now. We're actually doing this car. Just want to go ahead and run you through the quick process that we do to ceramic coating, right? You have to keep in mind on a B2C consumer level that we want to keep things as human, genuine, and real as possible. People, honestly, at this day and age, especially on a consumer level, they don't care for a 5-minute, horizontal, nicely edited, super well crafted, $5,000 camera, Super Bowl level style of editing. They just want real, human, genuine connection. So even just having a 60 to 90 second selfie video sent, that's enough for them to think, wow, no other business has done that for me. That's awesome. They've went ahead and explained the process. If they sent that to me, beautiful. If you do have a VSL that's like that, it's a little bit more well edited. Not to say it's not going to help. That's fine. I'll put it on YouTube. You can send the link. It pops up all by itself with a nice little thumbnail. Beautiful. They can watch that. But I would say to kind of get started, a selfie video is honestly a good route to take just because it's very genuine. It's very real. It's very you. And so that's kind of the approach I think you should take when it comes to that. And most importantly too, guys, like what I want you guys to understand, like a VSL is not a make or break in terms of you guys getting more quality leads. It's just something that's there to increase the context, education, and research that a prospect gets after they've already been educated on the ads and organic side of things, right? If they're educated well on the paid ad side, if they're educated well on the organic side, when they finally come in as a lead, only then are we then pushing even more education on them. We're just hammering them down with more stuff. So that's just one piece of the puzzle. Everything else is very important as well. The email newsletters, the paid advertising, educational stuff, the educational content you're posting consistently on the organic page on your Instagram and Facebook, right? So all these things, don't think of VSL, boom, make or break, I'm going to get more quality leads. Sure, very important, but it's everything. It's that whole process in which we're educating them, if that makes sense. Does that kind of answer your question, Anas?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Of course, dude. Awesome, sweet. Well, next person I see here is Isaiah. If you want to go and introduce yourself and go over anything you want to.
What's going on? My name's Isaiah. I own Prestige Detailing here in South Texas. Biggest thing right now for me is kind of like, I believe Paxton had mentioned it. Just kind of trying to figure out delegation. I know he mentioned as well in the Driven Lead, like it's good to hire once you're like booked out like a week or two in advance. Right now I'm at that point where it's like a week, more or less week and a half booked out, and it's been consistently like that. My main thing is I want to hire somebody, but I also have the dilemma of like if I do hire somebody and I lose that ability to provide them the work that they need, that I'll just have them sitting around and paying somebody to just do nothing. And that's kind of my main thing. Another reason is because it's like we're in Q4 and it's expected to be slower, so that's another reason. But I also want to hire somebody so that they're trained up by when the spring rush comes in, so that I can just hit the ground running for there. But yeah, that's kind of my main thing right now.
100%. You want to jump in that, Vinny?
Yeah.
Get something after.
I mean, like you kind of said too. I mean, like it is a little bit tough now because things are a little bit slower. But I mean, like even now during this month, like you've still been consistently booked out, even with the cold. I mean, you're in Texas too, so it's not that bad. Like here in New Jersey, like we've been dealing with snow the past week. Like we got 2 like little snowfalls. So there's snow on the ground, so it's not too bad where you're at. I think it just rain and get a little bit cold.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're chilling. You're not in a horrible position with that. So you like really just situate your marketing so that you can continue to get winter, stuff. Like winterize your creatives. Obviously point out winter. I don't know if you guys have salts down there, but just winterize all your stuff. Position your marketing so that it's obviously for the main pain points during the winter season. This way they can buy off that, and then obviously with the employee situation too. definitely get someone on if you are booked out like that. You know, you want to move with speed. And like you said, you're kind of worried that, what's your main worry? You said that they're like, if they're going to do all the, like, be doing nothing, like, what do you exactly mean by that? Like, if you two are on the jobs, because like, what are you, fully solo right now?
Right now, I'm solo, and I got another tech with me that I'm training up that I recently hired. But I want to have two techs out there so that I can just, you know, delegate the work and just take calls.
Okay, you know, awesome. So yeah, that's the perfect direction. So right now, I got to ask you, what kind of is your connection with that one guy right now? How long have you been working with him? Like, what's kind of of him?
I brought him on a month ago, so we've been, you know, with each other for about that long. He's pretty solid. He's picked up the pace pretty well. Still needs to dial everything in to where I can trust him to go out. But that's my main thing. I don't know if I should hire somebody else, or I should wait for that person to get pretty skilled at detailing before I do hire somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't really think you need to, because worst comes to worst, here's the situation too as well. Worst comes to worst, you hire that other guy, and then there's 3 of you on the jobs, but you just sit in your own personal vehicle or the van and take sales calls. That's another stage right there. Like, you don't necessarily have to just send them out on their own. Like, you could take sales calls, next sales calls in another car. Don't get me wrong, being at home, being nowhere near the field is the most optimized, and that's what's the best for sales. But I mean, still, you not touching the car and just kind of watching it is still going to help you way, way more, you know, with your sales calls, all sort of stuff. Because like Paxton asked earlier, like, how do you touch those higher numbers? It really just comes down to focusing on sales more and really focusing and dialing in on it. Because like, as a solo detailer, you're detailing, answering the phone, like, you're not dialed in on it. So like, that's the main thing. And like, you will do that when you hire another guy. But the main thing too is like, one, have basic SOPs and stuff in place. You know, what I always do is with every single employee that you have, your system should do 80% of the work, and they should be doing the 20% of the work. That's how, like, why does McDonald's, you go to any McDonald's, it tastes the same no matter where you go. You could be in freaking, you know, across the world, it tastes the same if you were to eat it back at home. The reason for that is because the systems do 80% of the work, and then technician only does 20%. You know, there's thousands of employees, and you know, they always order the same meat. They have the same systems where it's made the same way, same time. Same thing with detailing. You want to do that sort of stuff, have ways to train them up, and then train them up with that guy. I would maybe, you know, give that your current guy a little bit more vision. Tell him how you're going to be a manager, how you can make more money in the company, how you can grow up within it. Maybe give him a slight bit of a raise. Tell him now you have a little bit more responsibility. You have to watch this guy. You have to train him up, do what I do with you. And that's another major thing there. But as long as you do that, those couple of steps, you know, you should be good. The main thing, though, honestly, the best piece of advice is just don't hesitate. Like, just question it. Just fucking hire someone and then just figure out how to do it, and you'll be good.
Yeah.
That's the main thing right there. And that's how you move with speed.
Another question I had is like the pay structure. So right now I'm just doing hourly. It's the simplest. But the book Sebastian recommended me, the Total Business Turnaround, it mentions P4P. It's kind of like a revenue. I mean, you pay them like a percentage of the job pretty much. And so it incentivizes like speed. I don't know if I should do that because, you know, finishing a job is on time is something I'm looking for, but I also want them to do quality work. But I mean, it's just been in the back of my mind, something like that.
Yeah, I just keep it simple with hourly with incentives, man. I mean, like, I've tried multiple different things. You also got to realize too, with commission-based sort of pay, you don't want to be giving, once you start getting into like $1,000, $1,300 ceramic coatings, you don't want to be giving your guys commission, because it's just like, it's just not worth it. You're losing out on tons of profit. And for what, you know, like, ceramic coatings are hard to do, but they're not insanely hard. So it's like, you don't want to be doing commission there, because it just doesn't make a lot of sense. So the best thing to do is obviously hourly. So just pay them hourly. You know, hourly is one of the most famous pay structures in the whole entire world. You know, that, pay your guys good too. You know, don't skimp out on them. Every single top tier business owner I've said, when they pay their people more, they make more money themselves, because you have happy people, all sorts of stuff. Your people run your company, so pay them well with hourly. And then on top of that, just give them incentives for getting reviews, you know, showing up on time and doing their base stuff there, and have a good connection with them, bro. Like, sit down with them, have one-on-one meetings with them every single month, you know, really work them down, have them become your, like, not your friends, but like really have them become like, you know, create a good culture, and they'll want to do the jobs faster. They'll never be like, oh, like lagging around. Like, they'll understand that they have to finish the jobs. So that's what I would recommend there. Just keep it super simple, and you know, that's way easier. With commission, you run into tons of headaches, tons of headaches. Imagine you have a shop and you're asking your guys to clean the shop, and you're paying commission. You can't pay them commission on the shop. They're not going to get paid for cleaning the shop. They're going to complain about cleaning the shop. So just basic stuff like that. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah,
100%. And try both, Isaiah. I mean, what works for Vincent is not going to work for everyone. what works for you might not work for everyone. So try both, see what makes the most sense for you. I mean, the reason why, P for P is a thing in the first place is obviously, like you mentioned, to incentivize people more. And it just helps you track your costs a lot easier. Keep in mind, I don't know if you reached that portion in the book yet, but he does talk about, for example, if you're paying, for example, 20% P for P, if people, for example, are not reaching their hourly cap, it just goes back down to hourly if they're not making enough. So then you do just go back to hourly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, try out both. I mean, come up with a system that makes the most sense for you. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, but both of which are good systems. It just is really just depending on what you want to do.
Okay. And as well as like the incentives you mentioned for hourly, is it just like if they get a review, they get like $5-10 for that, something like that?
Yeah, I do it monthly basis just to make it easier. Like, okay, if you guys got, 20 to 30 reviews this month, you guys get an extra $100. If you guys make like 5 to 10 upsells, you guys get an extra $100-200. If you guys do, you show up on you're not late more than 2 times during the month. I'll give them like 2 freebies. You get like $100-150. Just super simple stuff that makes them stay on top of themselves. But it's just like free money that they shouldn't be walking away from.
Yeah. Okay.
100%. Yeah, just incentivize people for things that you don't want to happen, right? I'd say, for example, like one thing in that book that they mentioned as well is there's a 500 bonus that's given regardless every single month. But what can happen, for example, because you can't legally take from somebody's pay, but you can legally take from a bonus. So if you pay somebody a $500 bonus regardless every single month, but if you're late, bonus reduction. If you get a bad review, bonus reduction. If you get a call back on a job, bonus reduction. And so people are more incentivized to perform well because there's a bonus waiting for them at the end of the month. But if that means that if they perform not well and they get a deduction, that's going to sting them. So that's also a good way to incentivize. You can do that route, or you can just do the direct route. Hey, every good review that you get, $15, XYZ. I think the bonus route is really good because sure, you might think, man, I'm going to pay my guys an extra $250, $500 in bonuses. That sounds like a lot. But if that means they're never late, they never get a call back, they get a good review every time, the van or unit is clean every single time it comes back, the chemicals are stocked, whatever the case may be, that's going to save you so much time, so much stress, so much headache. And there's better systemization in the business that'll get you to where you want to go, which is more repeatable, delegatable, and something investors look for whenever you want to exit. So also a good model. So 100%. Just explore your options. Test everything. But sweet. Awesome. Does that kind of answer your question, Isaiah?
Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful, dude. Awesome. Next person I see, Ali. If you want to go to introduce yourself, go to any questions, comments, concerns you might have, by all means, go for it.
Hey, what's up? Ollie from SoCal. I don't know if anyone has experience with this, but I'm thinking about outsourcing a detailer because currently I have 2 employees, but there's a lot of times actually where we can't fulfill all the details. So I'm thinking about hiring or outsourcing one and giving them like 50-60% commission of the jobs.
100%. We say outsourcing, like a contractor or a subcontractor?
Yeah, subcontractor.
Let me ask you this. Why do you want to go that route instead of just hiring a part-time, full-time?
Just because it'd be easier instead of training somebody, because I like to spend a lot of time training somebody up, and then also they would have all the equipment, all their chemicals and stuff, and it's just less of a headache on my part.
No, it's a great question. I mean, at least in my opinion, I think it's always better to have an in-house technician that you train, you take the time to, because not only is it going to be easier on your part, it's just a skill that I would prefer that you learn to garner, because you're going to learn how to create systems, SOPs, anything and everything you need to just scale your company that route. I think subcontracting is best if your goal long-term is to make this a franchisable business, in the sense that you're growing nationwide. You expect to have a lot of locations soon. You have the capital to be in multiple areas. And then from there, it's going to be a smart move to then subcontract. At least right now, with the size of the business that you have, I would recommend just going down the route of finding part-time or full-time. If you're time constrained, sure, subcontracting can be a good route you can take momentarily, but it's going to be more beneficial and along with more lucrative if you decide to go maybe the harder route, which is just finding somebody that's part-time, full-time.
Okay, thank you.
100%. Beautiful. Does that kind of answer your question? Any other things you want to go over, Ali?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Of course, dude. Sweet. Mike, I know you're walking right now. If you want to go introduce yourself first off, any questions, comments, concerns, sauce you want to share, by all means, go for it. Happy to have you.
My name is Mike Reynoso, owner of Paradise Auto Care. Sorry if I sound a little bit funny. I'm a little bit under the weather. But I've been in Southern California. I've been in the detailing business for about 4 or 5 years now. Been working with LEADFUSE for the past 6+ months or so. One thing that I've been struggling with is I hired a detail technician probably about like 3-4 months ago, and took him from basically not knowing anything about detailing to at least being a decent enough technician to be able to get stuff done. The issue is I'm having is really the quality of a person and of a worker he is, and like I've decided I'm gonna let him go the next couple months. And I guess I would say my biggest issue is going to be, finding better quality people, and really screening for that before I hire somebody and spend the time to get them, trained up.
Oh yeah, I mean like Mike, that's the hardest like thing. I mean like that's what every business owner I feel like complains about today is just the quality of workers in the USA. And there's like a lot of people just don't know how to work that good anymore. Like there's kids like us who are killing it, making, great businesses, making absolute killing. And then the majority of us though, majority of kids our age, who are around us, they're just watching TikToks, they're being lazy, all sorts of stuff. A lot of people don't know how to work. But the main thing that you really got to do, Mike, is it's just like, it's almost just like I compare it similar to marketing and getting leads with employees. Like what's the best way to find more, qualified people? If you obviously have, more people to select from, there's a higher chance you get someone that's better. You know what I mean? So you really just like good businesses, just like they have good client acquisition systems, like obviously meta ads, all sorts of stuff. You want a good employee acquisition system as well. The number one that I think that I always talk about is the better team. Better team works really well just because, it puts you out there. Like I said, one better team software puts you in front of every single person there. And then, you'll get tons of leads to your email. And, obviously, like I said, the more people that you have and the more people you can interview, the more odds you are of coming across a good person. And then also, too, the more people that you have to interview and the more people that want to work for you, the less leverage your current employees have on you. That means you can pretty much, hire fast and then fire faster. Essentially, what I mean by that. It's just you need to have as much people wanting to work for you as possible. And on top of that, too, you can even run meta ads for hiring as well. So you really just like having a good lead acquisition system, you need a good employee acquisition system. And just it's literally as simple as just try to get as many people to want to work for you as possible. The more people you can choose from, the higher the odds you'll be able to find an A player within, a higher percentage of people than, just one or two people that, you kind of interview.
100%.
Yeah, that's an amazing response because I mean I've just been planning, now that starting to slow down, end of December, January, February, I'm gonna be all in focus on, like you said, it's instead of like lead acquisition, it's gonna be fully focused on employee acquisition. So that's some solid feedback.
Exactly, and on top of that too, one thing that I do in the background of my company, I not only want Caruso's Auto Boutique to be one of the best, auto detailing centers in North Jersey, but I also want it to be one of the best careers in North Jersey as well. So essentially what I mean by that is I want it to be the best place for people to work at. All of us, it's pretty easy. A lot of guys like working with nice vehicles. They like working with cars. We create a fun environment for a lot of people, even though it can be very hard sometimes with environmental factors, a little bit of, physical work. It can be a little bit tough, but overall we can position our, our jobs and our detailing business to people to enjoy, and we work on nice cars, it's fun, all that sort of stuff. And on top of that, really what I always say is work with your employees, work on their goals, help build them up as a person, and really build that good, company culture. And when employees hear that, okay, I'm going to join a company that cares about me, that cares about what I want, my goals, and what I'm going to do, it's just even better. Like sit down with your guys. What do you want to do? What's your goals? Where do you want to be financially? And then help them achieve that. And it's almost like they're playing a video game in a sense, and they're leveling up inside your company. Everyone's going to want to work for your company. So just have that in the back of your mind. Be like Paradise Auto, or what is it? It's Paradise now, right?
Yep, Paradise Auto Care.
Yeah, just be like Paradise is going to be one of the best places that people are going to want to beg me to work at, in the next couple of years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to jump in and say, Mike, also, and this is more so long term, is this your brand equity, dude? Like, do you think people like Apple, Google, all these big companies are getting shitters? Sure, they are, but they're getting the top talent that want to work for companies like that. And so, like, you got to keep in mind that we're all so young in terms of business that over a longer time horizon, we're just going to attract more and better talent over a longer extended period of time. So what I want you to focus on, honestly, to really attract that talent over the years is, number one, just understanding it's going to take time. And then number two, just understanding how important your brand equity is. How professional are you? How do you talk to your own customers? How do you represent yourself as a company? What's your mission? What's your vision? And through that, you're going to attract some top tier talent. Over the years, as you begin to make more money and XYZ, like I said, people are going to beg to want to work for you because of the values that you hold as a business owner and company. So just I would say patience as well, and just more time essentially as you attract more and better talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your solid feedback. Yeah, that's my number one focus from now on.
100%. Beautiful, dude. Sweet. I hope that helped. Nas, go for it. I saw your hand raised.
Yep. So when you're hiring, do you kind of differentiate between hiring different kinds of detail techs? Because I feel like it's easier to train and hire up someone. Like you can get someone ready within a week for like interior and exterior detailing. But then even ceramic coating's not too hard, but when it comes to like paint correction, all that stuff, do you want to find someone who's already has, training, experience in that, certification or something, or I don't know, because I think that's a tough thing to train up on.
I would say with normal detailing, no. Like you don't. If someone knows how to paint correct or do detailing, and they're gonna do it their way or how the way that they learn in another detail center, you want to bring them in completely fresh. And like you said, it's not hard to do ceramic coatings, paint correction. It's all very trainable within like a month, and mastering within 1 to 3 months. So it's like bring them in completely fresh and train them up on your systems, your ways, because sometimes it's harder to teach a person that already knows, teach them your ways inside how you do it inside of your company, compared to bring in a guy completely fresh. The only thing that you want people with experience is window tint and PPF. That's something that you want people with experience. Train everyone on detailing and all that sort of stuff. Find someone that's a good, genuine, hardworking person that seems like they're actually driven within their life. Look for more of that rather than detailing experience.
100%. Sweet. Does that help answer that?
Almost. I'm just still concerned about like the paint correction aspect because I feel like one step polish is the easiest. But when it comes to like maybe a 2-step, 3-step process, like you want someone that's more trained for that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, dude, you got to realize like stuff like this, for example, it's like exactly what Vincent said. These services that are maybe a little bit easier to learn, such as full detail interior cleaning, exterior cleaning, paint correction, so long you have good systems, right? For example, I remember one of my best friends from high school, his first job was McDonald's. I remember I dropped him off for his first day of work, and he came back home, and I asked him, hey, whatever, how was it? And he was like, dude, it was awesome. The first 3 days, I don't really do anything. I just sit in a room and I watch training videos. And so all it is good systems, teaching people from day one how to do something the same way every single time. The thing that you should look for more than anything, dude, is just genuine good people. You can't teach good customer service skills. You can't teach a good, genuine, humane personality. Those are things that have taken their whole lives to learn. The way that their parents raised them, the way that they experience the world. I would much rather, in my opinion, hire somebody with a good personality, with genuine attributes in their person, and have no experience than somebody who has 10 years of experience but is an absolute dickhead, because I can teach them all that stuff. And so like things like that, at least, like sure, like Vinny said, when it comes to tint, when it comes to higher ticket services, things like PPF, wrap, that take a lot longer to teach. Sure, you 100% want to look for somebody that's more experienced. But things like paint correction, ceramic coating, full details, it's really not going to take as long as you think to teach somebody, so long that you're good at the service and you have good systems. So at least at this point in the business, look for people who are just good people. That's it. Beautiful. Sweet. Awesome. Next person I see. Oh, sorry, Mike. I saw you raise your hand.
I wanted to just pitch in on that thought because I know I believe it's Nas, right? He mentioned about training and with paint correction, people who don't know how to do it. One of my things, I'm partnered with who's called H2 Auto Detail Supply. They are pretty much detailing supply company in California. They ship all over the world. So I'm a partner for them in terms of like what I do for them. I'm a trainer. I've trained about 50 people in the past year, and I can tell you that I can take people from not ever touching a polisher or knowing anything about a polisher to being able to fully paint correct and ceramic coat a car in 2 days. So in 2 days, somebody who doesn't know anything about what they're doing, I can fully get them at least in terms of from nothing to being able to paint correct a car based on just the systems and the processes of how you train. Like Sebastian said, the systems, and Vincent as well, what the systems is pretty much key when it comes to training. And it's more important finding somebody who can handle and learn better than, like somebody who has experience, like Sebastian said, somebody who's teachable, trainable, and has better, at least personality in terms of skills. What they can learn, their characteristics, is better and easier to train. And just learn how to be a better trainer and be more systematic and more processed in the way that you train. So that's much more important.
100%. Thanks for sharing that, Mike. That's really valuable. Yeah, great point right there. He just said 50 plus people. He was able to train them from nothing or somewhat something to pretty much being pretty optimal in paint correction, ceramic coating. So clear example, good systems, good training, very important. Just find somebody that's coachable, good personality, good people skills. Everything else will just follow suit. Beautiful. Sweet. Awesome. Next person I see is Louise. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and go over any questions, comments, and concerns you might have.
Hey, what's up? So yeah, Louise. I have revival detailing here in Long Island, and yeah, I'm kind of struggling with the same thing as Isaiah. I've been getting better at it since we called with me and Sebastian. But just hiring is it's kind of like a pain because you just really feel the pressure, especially like Q4, about consistently getting them jobs and stuff. So
I want to say something real quick too for everybody here, and this is not to shit on you guys. This is not to be rude. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm genuinely just trying to help. Really, guys, like, and it's good that we repeat a lot of the stuff that we do. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I want to reference, guys, like a lot of this and a lot of people here, you know what to do. You know what your next step is. It's just how bad you want it and how fast you're going to execute on it. You know you need to hire. You know you need to find somebody good. Go do it. Go do it. There's nothing stopping you from hitting 100K a month. Sure, for some of you, it's going to take 10 years. For some of you, you'll do it next year. At the end of the day, it's really just dependent on how bad you want it. If you there's, like I said when we were talking price, there's people who really want it, and there's people they wish they wanted it. And I would say a majority of people wish they wanted it. Man, I want 100K a month. What are you doing to get there? So don't wish you want it. And if you're the person that wish they want it, you got to be real with yourself. I'm comfortable with where I'm at, and the reason I'm not growing is because I'm not executing and being fast enough. I don't have speed implemented. You need to be aggressive. You really do. And so it's like, you know what you need to do, really. You know you need to hire. You know you need to create your systems. You know you need training modules and SOPs and XYZ. The difference is am I going to do it, or am I going to keep holding it off knowing I need to do it for me to reach that next level of growth? And so for you, Luis, at least right now, do it, bro. Do it. Go crazy. Post on Indeed. Go get on better teams. Find somebody. Interview people. Anybody that's following your detailing account. What's stopping you from sending 50 plus messages, 100 plus messages per day saying, hey, are you looking for work? Right? Everybody here has the capability of doing 50, 100K a month, getting a team, getting into a shop, XYZ. Right? The only difference between the person that's going to get there sooner than the other is execution and speed. That's it. So you got to be more real with yourself, guys. Like, truly. Like I said, there's people here who really want it, that are getting after it, and there's people here that wish they wanted it. Just be real with yourself. Are you comfortable? And are you stalling? If so, be real with yourself, and then just execute on what you need to change. But to give you a more logistical answer, Luis, yeah, dude, just get on better teams, get on Indeed, post more stuff, do more outreach, interview more people, right? If you're having trouble finding somebody, the reality of it is just you're not doing enough volume. You need to interview more people. And when you interview more, imagine if you did 10 interviews a day. You think you'd find somebody in the next week? 70 interviews, you're going to find somebody. So it's like, really the question is, how can I do more volume? How can I do more volume? How can I get so I can do 10 interviews a day? If you do those, you'll find somebody, I guarantee you, max 2 weeks. It's 140 interviews in 2 weeks. It sounds crazy, and a lot of people are not willing to do it, but if you do it, you'll get it done. And so just be more aggressive, I'd say. Just be more aggressive. Interview people, post more stuff, do more outreach, find somebody. You will find them. 110%.
Willie, Louise, are you on Better Team right now?
no, I'm not. I actually had an employee, but he actually just got like a plumbing job, so he's gonna do that like full time.
So yeah, I mean, just hop on Better. Like by the end of tonight, it's like $100 a month. It's not too much. It's just for Better Team. It'll put you on everything, and then every single month you get emails with job applications. So just go on Better Team, hop on there, and if anything too, like one thing that Sebastian can start doing for you guys, if you really need to, is start running hiring ads. You can start doing that as well, like very cheap cost per lead. And then, you know, every now and then you'll get a hiring ad. But yeah, that's just the main thing there. Just like get on it tonight. Like you said, like you have an issue with hiring, but like who are you supposed to hire when there's nothing getting sent out there? So by the end of tonight, I would say hop on Better Team, you know, set up your applications on there. It's super easy. If you guys have a VA, I have my VA do all of it for me. And yeah, that's just how you can instantly find more people. You're not going to find any more people if there's no people asking to work for you.
100%. Does that kind of help, Luis? Like I said, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to be a dickhead. I would rather be real, raw, and transparent with you guys and just sugarcoat it. Because at the end of the day, it's like I want all you guys to win. I want everybody here to do 100K a month next year. And so the only way you're gonna do that is if we're being truthful about things. But does that kind of help in terms of that, Luis?
Yeah, for sure. And something else maybe not struggling with, but just kind of like nervous about. I just started renting out like a shop, and I don't like. I've never like detailed during the winter, so I'm not sure how much different it is. I know the convenience is like a big factor for detailing. So
100%. Well, let's break it down really simply, just so everyone can see. What are you nervous about?
About people dropping their cars off because I just like got it, so it's not really like set up with like a waiting room or anything.
Okay. Do you think that if people drop their cars off and there's no waiting room that you're going to be unsuccessful?
No, absolutely not.
So just be transparent on the phone. When people call, hey, just by the way, recommend you get a ride back or we can Uber you back complimentary. We don't have a waiting area right now. Just want to be transparent with you so you're not waiting in your car or on the street. That's it. Simply put. Just like all these things, like break it down really simply. And like, trust me when I say there's nothing to be nervous about. Like things like that, you're going to solve over time. So like you're good there. Is there anything else that you're nervous about in terms of the shop? Because I mean, by all means, big step. Congratulations. That's awesome. Anything else in terms of just things you're stressed about or questions you have in regards to the shop? There's a lot of people in this call right now who have a shop.
No, I mean, not really. Not for now.
Yeah. Beautiful, dude. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, sorry, go for it, Paxton. I just saw your hand raised.
Yeah, so Luis, I actually just rented a shop. Well, not rented. I'm renting it with a different business owner. And I don't really have a conference room or like a waiting room or something like that, but I never had an issue with it, so don't worry about it, bro. You, like Sebastian said, you can just tell him over the phone. I haven't had zero issues with it. Honestly, I mean, I guess I kind of have like a little conference room. The customers just bring they usually have like a laptop on them somehow. I don't know why. Most of my customers have a laptop on them, have the stuff they need to do on them. So they'll find something to do. Everybody's got Facebook. Everybody's got Instagram. They just scroll for hours like most people fucking do. They waste their time. So they'll be busy even if they can't get a ride back, bro. Don't worry about it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Paxton. No, yeah, 100%. Like I said, just transparency, communication, just letting people know what to expect when they get there. You'll be chilling. I remember when I was with Vincent, we were shooting ads with him literally a month ago. Vinny didn't have the waiting area. He had no couch, no desk, no TV. He literally said, the guy was like, oh, I came from New York. He's like, I'm going to be here. Vinny was like, all right, I'll pull up one of my spinny chairs. And he literally sat in the shop watching the guys do the job. So it's like Vincent has a 4,000 square foot shop, over 190 plus 5-star Google reviews, and somebody just sat on a spinny chair watching the job getting done. So you're chilling, bro. Trust me. Like you're fine.
And he was happy too.
He was super happy. They left a nice testimonial video. It was awesome. But sweet, awesome. Austin, I see you next. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and go over any questions, comments, concerns you got.
Yeah, sweet. My name is Austin Elworth. I am now located in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm currently in Pennsylvania right now. And I just recently sold my mobile detailing business, AE Car Detailing. And I'm in the process of starting up a new detailing business called Palm Elite Detailing in Jacksonville, Florida. So that's currently where I am.
Heck yeah, dude. Sweet. Do you want to share for anybody that maybe wasn't here 2 weeks ago, a little bit on that exiting? Because I mean, you're the
Yeah.
I'll give some context. I know I'm gonna repeat myself for anybody that was here 2 weeks ago, but Austin is 17 years old. He did multi-6 figures in revenue, top line this year. Bought himself a Porsche and sold his business for 6 figures, all at 17. Absolutely insane, super crazy, and that is a clear example of execution and speed. 17 years old. I don't care if anybody here in the back of their head is like, well, what leverage did he had? What cards was he born with to be able to do that? Doesn't matter. He did it. And so it's like, that's crazy. That's execution and speed right there. at its finest. So Austin, if you want to share a little bit on that, on how you managed to do that, please.
I appreciate it. Yeah, so basically I just created a scalable company. I didn't really dabble too much into hiring because I knew this transfer was going to come at some point at the end of this year. And it took a long time to make it happen. It happened at the last minute. But just that consistency of looking for the right person to take it over and building it to the spot so that someone can take it over. It was really good to see when you get that big check at the end after 8 long months of trying to sell a business. But yeah, it's in the systems from when you're creating it from the start. One of the biggest mistakes I had made was not creating those systems from the day I started. I created them like the beginning of this year, and I had started the beginning of last. So to have those systems to then give to the new owner was way easier to transfer. So having those SOPs, having those systems in place makes that exit a whole lot easier when it comes. If that's your goal or that's what you're trying to get to, have those in place because it makes it a whole lot easier to be able to transfer basically everything. So
100%. Anas, you have a question for Austin?
Yeah, Austin, what's your plan with Palm Elite? Are you going to do it all over again?
So I'm going to do it all over again, a little faster than I did this time. And I'm going to dive into aviation detailing. So that's fully what I'm going at, aviation detailing, and I'm going to try to get into a shop by next June. So
yeah.
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Sweet.
Yeah.
We went through everyone. Thanks for sharing that, Austin. That's awesome. It's valuable information right there. Sauce.
Absolutely.
So as I've said on the last call, if anybody ever has questions on exiting their company or selling, even I was asking some questions because I have First Class Mobile Details sitting with 40,000 followers, 155 5-star Google reviews. I was like, can I sell mine? And the clear answer was no after talking to Austin because it's not open right now. But yeah, if anybody has questions in terms of exiting their company, Austin's got to ask. He did it. He's done it. He knows some stuff in terms of answers. So sweet. Awesome. Well, we went through everyone. What we're going to go ahead and do quickly is we can kind of answer maybe an additional 3 questions to kind of finish things out. So if anyone has anything that they want to ask, anything that they want to share, anything that they want to go ahead and just discuss, it's a great opportunity to do so. If anyone wants to go ahead and raise their hand and go over anything before we end the call. Sweet. I think we're good then. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Sweet, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone for being here. You guys are absolutely awesome. Like I said, if I was a little bit harsh today, I didn't mean it. I just try to be as transparent as I can. I would rather not sugarcoat things and really just give you the sauce in terms of the way I think it is. So guys, I appreciate you guys' time today. If we end the call with anything, I want you guys to know speed and execution. We're ending the year. I think we have one more group call before the year ends. So we'll go over more stuff on that. Of course. Thanks, Bastion. We'll go over more stuff on that, but I'll end this call just saying, and if anyone wants to add on top of this at all, please, speed and execution, guys. You guys need to be super insanely aggressive with everything that you guys do if you guys don't want to win at the rate that you do. Everyone here is for is doing business for, I would assume, the same reason, right? You guys want to get rich as fast as possible, right? You guys want money. Obviously, you guys want to provide an amazing service, and you got to be valuable to the community. But also, everyone's here pretty much for a good paycheck, right? You guys want a nice car. You want to live in a big house. You want to travel the world. You want to do cool experiences. The faster you execute and the faster that you move, the faster you're going to be able to get there. So please, 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 if you take anything from anything that we've discussed today, speed and execution, move fast, understand what you need to work on in terms of high revenue producing tasks, and just get it done. A majority of everyone here knows what they need to do. Just do it. Sweet. Pete, did you want to say something?
Oh, no, my bad.
No, you're good. Vinny, do you want to end it off with anything else?
Just saying that Sebastian said, now's the time. Now's winter time, even though it's slow. It's really, we're preparing for spring. Just sit down and think. We got like 2 to 3 months until springtime. That's 2 to 3 months of work you guys can put into actually hit big numbers in the springtime. So just remember that. Now isn't, even though it's a slow season, we're all charging up right now. So just actually go forth, put in work every single day, and actually prepare for that spring. And just have in your head, 50K in the springtime, 100K in the springtime, whatever your number is, just really have it in your head for the springtime and just execute on everything you need to get it all done now while it's slow and while everything's, more manageable.
100%. Sweet, guys. Well, I appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the last group call of the year. And obviously, we'll do some more in 2026. It's not going anywhere. I'll post a recording here this week. Check out the school community post for the Monday brief. We have a couple updates coming out that are going to be very beneficial to you guys. But sweet. Other than that, guys, I appreciate everyone for joining. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and let's have a killer week.
Peace out, everyone. Make sure you guys are active in the school as well, too. I want to see everyone in there.
100%. All right. Peace out, guys. God bless you all.